Hey guys, I'm back. Well, it's fresh in my mind. I just did a crash course on KEV and MEV. And what the heck does it actually mean? Well, I found out it's a measure of electron volts, which basically measures ionized energy in the atmosphere. And electron volts are, well, let's just bring it up. The energy of ionizing radiation is measured in electron volts. So one electron volt is extremely small, 1 eV. So the more commonly used multiples are kilo electron, that's 1,000 volts, keV, mega electron, MeV, which is million volts. So and then that just gets into that. Let's see. So, what's ionizing radiation? This ain't good. There's three types. Nuclear radiation, alpha, beta, and gamma. Alpha, beta, and gamma. Alpha, it's the least penetrating, while gamma is the most penetrating. Nonetheless, all three are ionizing radiation, and they can knock electrons out of atoms and form charged particles. Now I just Googled ionizing radiation detection and came up with all this. You can click all these little chevrons and they give you different stuff. And I clicked on several of them, and here's the ones I want to highlight for this video. All right, gamma rays. They're often considered the most dangerous type of radiation to living matter. Unlike alpha and beta particles, which are charged particles, gamma rays are instead forms of energy. Then I got into Googled ionizing radiation. So then you get into gamma rays. Gamma rays, here we go. Gamma rays typically are energies above 100 keV, less than 10 MeV. So I pulled up these, all these, sorry about saying so much. I pulled up all these Folk radiation electron belts. Normally I just been highlighting the 10 keV and the 4,000, which I don't have shown here, but I got it over here. So I just figured since at 100 keV, that's when gamma radiation starts, which is the most harmful radiation. So I pulled up the 100 keV here, along with these three magnetosphere magnetopause simulations. So we'll just let them play through. I checked it, and there's not a whole lot of missing time, if any, and wind speeds got up to 800 something briefly at one point. I'm not sure exactly when. So I was focused on this radiation belt stuff. So at 100 keV, that's generating gamma radiation, which, as you can see, is likely penetrating the Earth. I did pull up the Bartle. So I mean, I tried to come up with a way to measure the gamma rays reaching the Earth's surface. You have this space weather prediction. This is measuring neutrinos or neutrons reaching the surface. So I'll look into that further. I'm not exactly sure how much is getting through to the surface, because it says the gamma rays go through the Earth's atmosphere. It says some infrared ultraviolet microwaves pass through the atmosphere and reach the Earth's surface. Gamma rays and X-rays most ultraviolet, some of the infrared are absorbed by the atmosphere and do not reach. So then there's another one. Do gamma rays reach Earth's surface? The sun doesn't emit gamma rays. All the sun produces gamma rays as a result of the fusion process. By the time they reach Earth, these high energy photons are converted to low energy photons. But since we have them so close by coming from Nemesis, that's why we got these huge high electron volt counts. So what's a gamma ray detector? Fortunately, the electromagnetic nature of gamma ray photons allows them to interact strongly with the charged electrons in the atoms of all matter. So the key process by which a gamma ray is detected is ionization, where it gives up part or all of its energy to an electron. And that's what these electron volts measure, as best as I can understand. Ionization. So I got them from the lowest, 10 keV, 20, 50, there's 100. That's when the gamma rays are present. In order to excite the electrons to such a high level that they measure them at 100,000 kilovolts or electron volts. It's 100,000 electron volts. And then you get 200, 425. There's a million. There's 2 million. Then we have them up here at the 4 million, and there's the 100 million where they begin. Gamma ray detection begins at 100 million, or that means they're present if you're seeing electron volts measured at the 100 keV level. They go as high as up to 100. And this is a map of, I think it's the entire sky, and it can go up, gamma rays can be detected as high as 100 MeV. That's just like during detecting supernova type stuff. So, and so the only sources for these high energy gamma rays are astrophysical, of course. So Nemesis is a brown dwarf star or sun. So it's emitting gamma rays, or by its fusion processes, photons are so excited that they're emitting gamma rays. So the most biological damaging forms of gamma ray radiation occurs at between 3 and 10 MeV. So there you have it. There's 4 MeV. Now I wondered, now of course I've been speculating that this here, see this whited out section? That's the Falsebow shock behind the Earth in order to ward off all these gamma rays or high electron volt pressures from Nemesis. See how it's got avoided areas? Now this is extremely high here, probably higher than this thing can measure when it gets into the purples and black. And once it goes to black, they don't have another measurement on this 4 MeV electron volt measurement device. So then it just wipes out. So they're obviously higher than 4 MeV. And another thing I noticed, this thing stopped working. All these bulk radiation belts quit uploading data to this ISWA site on 0100 UTC last night on 11/2. So that would have been 5 hours. That would have been 8 p.m. on 11/1. They stopped downloading this information. So you Google ionizing radiation, and all you do is place your cursor on this stuff and you can click it. There's gamma rays. Now X-rays, that's another story. That's in the range, if you look at the very bottom of that, well, let me click it. "100 electron volts to 100 keV. So even we're being bombarded by X-rays. Well, I'm retarded. There we go. So we're being bombarded by X-rays at 100 electron volts. So that's just, well, this is 1,000. 100 keV is 100,000 electron volts. So 100 electron volts wouldn't even be 10 keV. So we're getting bombarded by X-rays. If it's reaching, and it says some of it does reach the Earth, but the atmosphere deflects a lot of it. That's why I was hoping to somehow come up with a way to measure it on the Earth, but I didn't really find anything that I can understand anyway. I did find one for neutrons. It wasn't measured in CPMs, something per minute. It's radiation measurements. And the gamma rays can cause neutrinos or neutrons too, but this is a Bartle cosmic ray space weather prediction site, but I don't really know how to interpret it. Here's the GO 16 for this would be 5 hours, 11:30 p.m. last night on November 2nd. Here we have the planet passing through under there. You can see they have, it looks pretty bright. I mean, I pulled up the South Pole cameras to see if I could catch it making an appearance down there. And I did get some anomalous light, bright daylight like type stuff at some weird hours of the night, like 1 or 2, 3 in the morning. And I'm not sure exactly when there's sunrises down there or whatever. Didn't really look into it any further because I didn't get any really dramatic shots. But there it is on GO 16. You can see it's still here, the planet that's reflecting light, which is appearing on these weather satellites. The GO 16s may be parked here, and then the Himawari is parked here. The Himawari just focuses on the side of the Earth where Australia and Japan and the Far East are, and then the GO 16 East focuses on South America and North America and that side of the planet. But so they're in a geosynchronous stationary orbit at 22,236 miles. And that's where these GOs 14 and 13 are as well. And they're the ones that are giving us all this data for this space weather. So basically all this data is coming from 22,236 miles up. And so I would say it's probably focused mainly, well, this is 10 Earth radii, so that's about 40,000 miles. So we figured 22,000, maybe 60,000 miles, this data. I would suggest it's all coming from within the magnetosphere and the magnetopause area, I would think. So that's about it, guys. Got a little crash course there on ionized radiation. So these are, MEV stands for 1,000,000 electron volts. And anything above 100 electron volts, 100 keV, produces gamma radiation, which isn't good. Okay, God bless. I'm out of time. Peace out.